Stay tuned because Good Sports is coming up next. Kansas City Sports and Fitness is the magazine for sports fans in KC. Inside, we cover local sports and local teams, from pro to peewee and everything in between. And this month's free copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness includes the Surplus Exchange College Sports Report. You'll find Kansas City Sports and Fitness all over KC at places like the Kansas City Ice Center. And it's free, so pick one up today. Welcome to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness magazine show. Good Sports is presented by Kansas City Chiropractic. Dr. Lynn McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic offer the care that can relieve pain and stress and improve overall health. For an appointment, call them at 816-753-4600 or visit kansascitychiropractic.com. And by the Surplus Exchange. Take a tax donation credit plus help KC students when you recycle your electronics and office furniture at the Surplus Exchange. For more information, visit surplusexchange.org or call 816-472-0444.
Good Sports was recorded live on Saturday, January 24th.
Welcome to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show. I'm Steve Fish. I'm the publisher of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. Today we're here at a place we've talked about a lot on many of our shows. It's the Surplus Exchange, and they're located at 518 Santa Fe in the West Bottoms. The Surplus Exchange is committed to protecting the environment, and it's an environmental nonprofit that focuses on the proper recycling of electronic waste, like discarded computers and electronics, so they don't do harm to the environment. They also refurbish, repair, and resell computer equipment, plus sell lots of office furniture at great prices. Call the Surplus Exchange at 816-472-0444 or visit their website, surplusexchange.org. Now, before we get started with the show, I want to tell everyone that our current issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness is free at over 700 locations in KC. And with this month's issue, KC Sports continues to celebrate our 17th straight year covering sports in KC. Now, in our current issue of KC Sports, we write about the Kansas City Jets high school hockey team, in our hockey report presented by the Kansas City Ice Center, and in our college sports report presented by the Surplus Exchange, where we are today, we interview MU's Jonathan Williams, KU's Wayne Selden, and K-State's Nino Williams. Now, you can visit our website, kcsportspaper.com, to find a link to a list of locations where you can find Kansas City Sports and Fitness, and you can check out a PDF of the entire issue on our website as well. And when this show airs, we should have a new website up and running as well. Now, I also want to mention that you can get a free subscription to the digital version of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine, and all you have to do is email your name, your email address, cell phone number, and age to subscribe at kcsportspaper.com. That's subscribe at kcsportspaper.com. Then watch your email for the next issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness. And as I mentioned, we are here at the Surplus Exchange, and we're joined by Bob Akers, who is the executive director of the Surplus Exchange. He's also a youth and a high school soccer coach in Kansas City. Welcome, Bob. Thank you so much for hosting us today.
No problem. It's fun to have a home game.
For sure. Bob has been, we were talking about all the places that Bob has been. He started at a pizza restaurant, I think, the last time we were together. I don't remember where we were, to be honest with you. I know it had been a while. Oh, we were at a supplement place.
Right.
That's right. So, but now we're here, and I've always wanted to come out here because if you look behind me at this time, there's all sorts of cool stuff, and we'll show some other pictures. But if you look behind Bob, there's really some cool stuff. Can you explain some of the things? We need to get into what Surplus Exchange is, and I kind of touched on it, but can you explain what we have behind you from what you can remember, because camera's on you. But.
Right. I can't jump up and turn around, but no, we recycle electronics, and we recycle all electronics. So people get sort of tied into thinking that we're just doing computers, we're just doing TVs, we're just doing some audio stuff. But we like to roll out some of the more bizarre things that we get. So we call this our wall of weird back here. And one of the more bizarre things, I think it's right over here, is an EKG unit that came from a vet, and it's made for cats. So if you want to get an EKG on your cat, I can do that, maybe.
It's a cat scan?
Yeah,
is that what it is?
It's a cat pulse finder, I guess. And I know we've got an Apple Lisa behind me. It's a pretty early computer.
How far back does that go? I think it's 83 or something like that.
It's back there. And there's a walkie-talkie from probably the early Vietnam War that's back there. And one of my favorite things, because we get so many hobbyists that come down here and buy parts and build their computers, but we have a wooden case where a fellow bought all kinds of parts and built his own computer.
Oh, wow.
So we've got that back there. I think we have a chess training device. So if you really want to master your chess moves, you've got that back there. A lot of test equipment. I think there's an oscilloscope. But it's really sort of the usual things that we see, especially if we go out and we do a community collection. Some of the things that we've had that we don't have out here is we had a screen from a radar display that was taken out of a control tower.
Oh, wow.
We had some Russian night vision goggles.
Wow.
We also, in the back, we didn't drag it up, but we have trail cameras, we have rifle scopes, you name it, we've seen it.
And that stuff's all, well, the wall of weird is not available for sale because some of them are collectible things and, you want to hang on to them. But a lot of that stuff that's in the back is available for sale as well?
Right. We have to refurbish it. We have to test it. We're e-stewards certified. So by certification, anything that we do resell has to be fully functional, fully tested, and we have to be able to prove it. We have people that come and check on us once a year, and I've actually voted in. I'm on the leadership council for e-stewards. I have voted for spot checks as well, which I hope does happen because they start coming and spot checking. We're all going to be a little bit cleaner in the way we do stuff. But if people buy something that's new, that's refurbished, they need to have some guarantee that it has been tested and that it's gone over and that it's going to go out and it's going to function. It's going to give them some life. And environmentally, that's the best thing we can do, too.
Sure. So how long has the surplus exchange actually been around? We were talking about that a little bit before the show because the function of the surplus exchange has changed dramatically, especially in these days where we update our computers every 2 years.
Right. It started 30 years ago, actually.
Wow.
And it was mostly as an organization getting surplus office equipment and then trying to make that available to the nonprofit community. So the original message was to find, or mission was to find surplus material and get it ready for the nonprofit community.
I see.
And we finally, when it got into the 90s, you were seeing more electronics, so we started drifting into electronics. And really, when we got to the late 1990s, we started with the tech shop and having people hired on who are actually Microsoft certified technicians that can rebuild this stuff. Right.
Yeah. So there was an article in the newspaper that January was a huge recycling month because people got new stuff.
Right.
New tablets, new computers for the holidays. Fill us in on that. I mean, that really brought it to light to me when I read that article, in just the fact that, yeah, we do turn this stuff so much, and that somebody needs to be there to take care of all the nasty stuff that's in it, or refurb and make it available.
One of our biggest challenges is getting people to understand a couple of things. One, this material is dangerous, so when you do take it out of service, don't stick it in your basement and think you'll deal with it at some point, or find the convenient junk closet that we all have. I mean, I've got a weird closet full of stuff that's in my case it's soccer balls and agility ladders and weird stuff. But we all have those, and if you start putting this type of material back in there, and you do have the misfortune of having a fire or your basement floods or something, you're starting to create an environmental hazard to yourself, to your neighbors, and if it's a fire, it's a hazard to the emergency services that are going to show up to take care of it. So, letting people know there's a place to take this, you don't have to hoard it. If you've replaced it, it doesn't have any more value to you. If you've replaced it, especially computers, if you've replaced it with a new model, you're not going to really go harvest parts off of your old model to help your new model, which, I hear that a lot. Well, I was just in case I needed something.
Right.
Yeah, they're not compatible. It's not going to work. Don't go down that road. So, we're an outlet for people to come and offload that material. And then the next part of that mission is we can take this and we can do a lot of good with it. This week, I went back over and I gave 2 more computers to Swope Ridge Geriatric.
Nice.
It's a nonprofit geriatric center, and we have given them, in the past, we gave them 10 computers and all the furniture to set up 2 computer labs or community centers. The residents are making their own newspaper, their own little newspaper for within the center. They also are able now to connect with the outside world, connect with old friends, whatever. But this time we gave them computers that their staff's actually using, so that they can reduce the amount of paper they're using. They're going to do all their scheduling on the computer. So that's the other thing that we do. I just before I came out here, I committed by email to give 2 more computers to urban rangers.
Nice.
So if we can continue to do that, get these things out in the community, help build community centers where there are computers available, make computers available to the small business that doesn't want to pop for the big bucks on new systems.
Right.
Big businesses are turning these things over every 18 to every 24 months, depending on the business.
Wow.
So we get them. They're no good to them, but they still have a lot of life in them.
We've only got about a minute or so left in this segment. We're talking with Bob Akers, who's the executive director of the Surplus Exchange. You can contact the Surplus Exchange at 816-472-0444 or surplusexchange.org. You also have a drop-off facility that's out in Overland Park.
Right. We have one that's at 119th and Hardy. It's 11921 Hardy, I believe. And it's with the city of Overland Park. You can drop off material there. We're taking about 3,000 pounds a week out of there.
Wow. That is truly amazing that people are, it's just amazing. And I do have some stuff that I probably should drop off, as well, some old computers and things like that. You clean the computers as well.
Right.
So.
Part of the certification is your data's your data. We want to make sure that it's secure and safe. We actually have data breach insurance. We have environmental insurance. We comply with all international law, and part of that's making sure that each individual who drops their computer off is completely safe.
Nice, very nice. A great service at the right time for all of us that are interested in all the tech stuff, and that includes just about everybody this day and age. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching or listening to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine show. We're coming to you from the Surplus Exchange located at 518 Santa Fe in the West Bottoms. I'm Steve Fish. We'll be right back.
Come on out to the Kansas City Ice Center and skate on the outdoor ice pavilion or the indoor ice rink. And sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information on public skating times, to register for a class or schedule an upcoming party or group event, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
These days, we're all so busy, and many of us ignore our health and let stress turn into chronic pain. Dr. Lynn McIntosh of Kansas City Chiropractic can provide you with the proper care to relieve pain and stress, improve your health, and get more out of life. And right now, get a free deep tissue laser treatment with your initial visit. Just mention KC Sports when you make an appointment. For more information on Dr. McIntosh and Kansas City Chiropractic, call 816-753-4600. Sign up now to get a free subscription to the digital version of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. Just email your name, email address, experience, and age to Winterstone Golf Course and Independence. And right now, take advantage of off-season rates: $34 on weekdays and $42 on weekends. For tee times, visit winterstonegolf.com or call 816-257-5755.
Welcome back to Good Sports, the Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, the show that complements Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. I am Steve Fish. Today we're here at the Surplus Exchange located at 518 Santa Fe in the West Bottoms. The Surplus Exchange is committed to protecting the environment, and it's an environmental nonprofit that focuses on the proper recycling of electronic waste like discarded computers and electronics so they don't harm the environment. They also refurbish, repair, and resell computer equipment, plus sell lots of office furniture at great prices. Call the Surplus Exchange at 816-472-0444 or visit their website, surplusexchange.org. Now, in our current issue of Kansas City Sports and Fitness, check out our U.S. Army High School top performers from Olathe South. Ray-Pec, and the Barstow School. And in our youth soccer report, we feature a story on the Swope Village Soccer Complex and show how it's helping grow youth soccer in KC. You can pick up your copy of Kansas City Sports and Fitness at over 700 locations, including Eagles Landing Golf Course, both Minsky's on Berry Road, and the Kansas City Ice Center. And coming up in February, we will be back at the Kansas City Ice Center, and they are located at 435 off of Johnson Drive, just 2 miles west of 435. Now, if you have a business and you're interested in having us come out and do a show at your business location, call Good Sports at 913-764-2050. And now you can view Good Sports on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. Now, today we're here at the Surplus Exchange, and we're talking with Bob Akers, who is the executive director of the Surplus Exchange, and he's also a youth high school and youth soccer coach in Kansas City. Again, thanks, Bob, for hosting us today. Give us a little rundown again of the Surplus Exchange.
Yeah, we're an environmental not-for-profit with several missions. The primary goal is keeping waste out of the landfill, reducing waste going to the landfill here in the Kansas City area, as well as making sure nothing leaves here and does harm elsewhere in the world. We refurbish, rebuild, make this equipment available for other nonprofits, small businesses, the general public, and we're a place where the general public as well as business can recycle.
For sure, yeah. And you had a number of people come in this morning. We're taping this on a Saturday, and a number of people come in. Tell people your hours as well.
Right, we're 9 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And people can drop off here, or they can drop off at our drop-off point out in Overland Park at 119th and Hardy.
Sure. And now when Bob and I get together, we always talk about sports and youth sports. It's a passion of his. It's a passion of mine as well. And we were talking this past week about just kind of discussing the purpose of youth sports, and Bob made some points that youth sports is kind of, if you're steering it, it's going off path.
Yeah.
I was looking at a number of websites, and one of them said the purpose of youth sports should be to teach youth virtue, virtue, to teach them morally good behavior and character. You're making a face, but
no, I mean I think those are all wonderful points. To me, I start often working with kids when they're the little 4-year-old kids, and I love working with those kids because it's so pure. And all you need is because I'm soccer, all I need is a plot of land that's reasonably level and a ball, and we can have 45 minutes of fun.
Yeah.
And it's 45 minutes of really pretty inexpensive fun. And to me, when you start with the kids at that age, you're looking at socialization skills.
Yeah.
A healthy activity, some teamwork. Although, those kids when they're
don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean they're selfish. The fun thing about them is they're selfish little buggers. So when you work with them just on their foot skills and their individual skills. But if you stick with them and you design your sport and your program to understand and recognize the stages of development of the child,
yes, then
you can start introducing teamwork ideas and concepts and that sort of thing. But I still think at the end of the day, it's a fun, healthy activity that's more important now than when you and I were kids because we're old. Sorry. I only had 3 TV channels to worry about, and youth programming was about a half hour a day.
Right.
So I was outside all of the time.
Right.
And now, youth has, there's so many distractions, and you can see the distractions around me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the electronics and everything. So getting them to get out and do some physical activity and to find some joy in doing that, it's really important, and it is a challenge.
Yeah, and I'm trying to dig it up there. I saw some interesting statistics about kids that drop out at a certain age, and I'm trying to dig for it. Here we go. In the 8 to 13-year-old age group, 70% of kids drop out of organized sports after the first year. Obviously, that's an indication that something's wrong. 20 million to 30 million 6 to 18-year-olds participate in youth sports programs, but around 80% opt out by the age of 12. Well, again, it might be some of those distractions and their interests change, but it's still something, and maybe it's just the program,
Well, and I think I've seen something with the kids I coach, that there are a lot of kids right now that are graduating high school or who have graduated high school in the last 2 years that I started coaching when they were the 4 and 5-year-old kids. And there are kids who will be graduating next year and the year after that I started with when they were 4 or 5, and I've marched through the programs with them. The thing that I'm seeing now, and you know I've been a proponent of college or of the high school sports programs,
Yeah.
and that high school sports and club sports should be able to work together to provide the kids what they need, a sense of community, playing for something bigger than yourself, putting on that jersey that means something to you. But I've most of my information on high school sports comes from they'll come from the high schools where I have kids playing.
Mm-hmm.
And this year I probably had more kids at Shawnee Mission West, at Aquinas, and at Rockhurst. Mm-hmm. And the startling thing to me is the number of kids who get to that senior year and then they don't go back out.
Right.
And, I'm talking about kids who are, maybe lettered as sophomores and juniors, and they're in their senior year and they don't go out.
Right.
And then the other troubling thing is in some programs you have kids who were lettermen as sophomores and juniors, and they get to their senior year and they have been cut. So I'm concerned because we're preaching community and loyalty, and you're the coach and I have your back, and you go through all this stuff, and then I discard you.
Right.
And you have a lot of kids who are really confused and really angry. And I've been working out in a gym with some of my kids that play,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all getting ready to go. We're all getting ready to start club in the next couple of days. Some are already practicing. And when I talk to them, they hate the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, they just sound bitter and angry. And I was like, well, obviously we're jacking up this whole system, because they should have an appreciation for that, an appreciation for fitness, an appreciation for the history and the beauty of the game, and
Mm-hmm.
and the some loyalty. We're dropping the ball yet again.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know in my part of town, I overheard a conversation with a high school kid and an adult, and he was talking about the reason he didn't go back to play on the football team of his high school team, and it was because of the politics. It was because pay to play, in a sense, was important, and the best players didn't always play. It was, some sort of politics that were involved in the process.
Well, and I think I see that in soccer, and I'm really concerned about soccer, because really it should be one of the most inclusive sports we have, because, as I said, really, you just need a plot of flat land and a ball, and you really don't need the $2,000 goals to put up. I mean, give me some 4x4s and I'll build you some goals, and we'll stretch something across the back so we don't have to chase the ball too far.
Right.
But it should be inclusive, and it's becoming exclusive, and we're kind of getting to the point where every child who wants to participate is not being allowed to participate because the cost is becoming outrageous.
Right.
The travel's becoming outrageous. The whole system needs to be readjusted back and rethought out. And the reality is the best players in the world, started out playing right now. Mm-hmm. Started out playing, maybe in a street in Portugal, on the beach in Portugal, on the beach in Argentina, on the beach in Brazil, out in the field somewhere in Ireland or in England. It wasn't, these expensive, most manicured, beautiful fields in the world that you pay. My club pays about $120 an hour for practice time. Mm-hmm. You don't really need to do that. If you got enough blank space out there, if I can make a really good soccer team on a couple of, give me 2 15-by-20 grids, and they'll be passing people silly.
Right. So we've only got a minute or so. What's the fix? Come on, narrow it down into a minute. No, I'm
wish.
Just kidding. That's another show. But
I think adults have to be adults.
Yeah.
And you have to. Again, it's like what I say about the environment. You have to look beyond your own life. Mm-hmm. You have to look beyond your own grave and decide you're going to make a difference. Right. It can't be about you.
Right.
If you're a coach, it can't be about you. You're a coach. It's about the people you're working with. It's about these young men and young women, and you want to give them a foundation because you want them to grow up and take your place.
Right. Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with parents and their expectations of their kids and how much money they're spending and the expectations that go with that and wanting to live through your kids and all that stuff weighs heavily on the kid.
Well, and when you get down to it, 0.5% of everybody playing high school sports will play at a Division I college or play at a college.
Right.
And the percentage that go pro is smaller than that.
Yeah.
So, you're buying lottery tickets hoping that's going to pay off without paying any attention to what your child wants. And as a coach, I really shouldn't be concerned about that. I should be concerned about what I have in front of me, developing this player to his maximum ability. Mm-hmm. If his maximum ability puts him in the English Premier League, wonderful. If his maximum ability means that he walks off the field after his last game, in our program,
right,
and he walks away happy,
mm-hmm,
and he has a love for the game,
mm-hmm,
and a love for the exercise, and a love for competition, and he's learned to vent all of that in a healthy way, then that's the job.
Yeah, you've done it. You've done it as a coach. Give us Surplus Exchange location, website.
We're at 518 Santa Fe in the beautiful West Bottoms. Phone number is 816-472-0444, and our website is surplusexchange.org. You can also find us on Facebook, and you'll always find the interesting and the bizarre that come in every day. If you check our Facebook, we will entertain you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, Bob. It was a lot of fun to be out here today. I wish we could do a longer show today because we have so much to talk about. That'll do it for our show, though, today. I want to thank the Surplus Exchange for hosting us and Surplus Exchange Executive Director Bob Akers for coming on the show. Be sure to join me, Steve Fish, again next week at the same time for Good Sports, Kansas City Sports and Fitness Show, and check out some of our other shows on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel. So until next week, be sure to read all about sports, health, and exercise in Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine. You'll find it all over KC, and it's free, so pick it up today.
Bring basketball fever to your own backyard or your driveway with your very own game court from Sport Court of Kansas City. Game courts can also be installed for volleyball, racket sports, soccer, tennis, or roller hockey. For more details, call Sport Court at 913-963-7529 or visit sportcourtkc.com. The Army Reserve has more than 120 unique career opportunities, so you can add to your current strengths or build brand new ones. Join the Army Reserve and you'll make a difference in your life and the lives of others. Learn more at goarmy.com/reserve. For more information, contact the Greater Kansas City Company at 3720 Arrowhead Drive, Suite B. Telephone number 816-531-3818. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Paid for by the U.S. Army. KC North Spine and Joint Center is the only full-body active release provider north of the river. For sports injuries, foot, shoulder, knee, or hip issues, call Dr. Hildebrand at KC North Spine and Joint Center at 816-584-0413 or visit kcnorthsjc.com. Come on out to the Kansas City Ice Center and skate on the outdoor ice pavilion or the indoor ice rink. And sign up now for Learn to Skate and Learn to Play hockey classes at the Kansas City Ice Center. The KC Ice Center is located 2 miles west of 435 on Johnson Drive. For more information on public skating times, to register for a class or schedule an upcoming party or group event, visit kcicecenter.com or call 913-441-3033.
With the current trend to live a greener lifestyle, many people and businesses now recycle their electronics. At the Surplus Exchange, your e-waste will never go to a landfill or incinerator, nor will we allow e-waste to be shipped overseas. Some companies employ this tactic and end up polluting other countries with our waste. All materials are safely tracked, destroyed, or reclaimed right here in the U.S. The Surplus Exchange is Kansas City's link between industry, charity, and the environment. To find out more, visit surplusexchange.org.
Sign up now to get a free subscription to the digital version of Kansas City Sports and Fitness Magazine and read KC Sports on your PC, tablet, or smartphone. Just email your name, email address, cell phone, and age to subscribe at kcsportspaper.com. That's subscribe at kcsportspaper.com. Then watch your email to see next month's issue of KC Sports and Fitness Magazine. So subscribe today. PDF reader required. By submitting your information, you agree to allow us to contact you with notifications and offers from KC Sports, Good Sports, and our sponsors.
Hi, it's Greg Pryor. One of my favorite products in Life Priority is called Lift. See Lift at my website, lifepriority.com.
Experience a touch of the Ozarks at Winterstone Golf Course in Independence. And right now, take advantage of off-season rates, $34 on weekdays and $42 on weekends. For tee times, visit winterstonegolf.com or call 816-257-5755. Now you can view our shows and past shows on YouTube. Search for the Good Sports KC channel.